What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, before I get to what I'm going to be talking about, you all should know what day it is by now. Finally Halloween! So you know what that means. Candy corn! I love candy corn. I have it every single October, but to be completely honest with you guys, I'm getting a little bit tired of it right now. I mean, like, I have it every year, but right now it just feels like it's a glob of orange, yellow, and white sugar shaped in a triangle. And that's technically what it is, but I still love it anyway. It wouldn't be October without it, so yeah. Alright, so enough of that. So, this is actually going to be a really morbid and really gloomy episode of Joe Winko Talk. My last episode of Joe Winko Talk was about the people who jumped off the Skyway Bridge, and I got really emotional during that episode of Joe Winko Talk. I'll have the link to that in the pinned comment. The Skyway Bridge website that I was talking about earlier, it's owned by a man named Phil, and shout out to Phil. I sent him all the links of my videos about the Skyway Bridge. The one of me at the Skyway Bridge, the one of me going over the Skyway Bridge, the one of me talking about the Skyway Bridge, and the one of me visiting Julia Tyson's grave. She was one of the people who jumped off the Skyway Bridge. Rest in peace, Julia Tyson. What he did was, he said that he liked the videos and he liked my style and everything, and I really appreciate that. I thought it was awesome. And he made like a whole page on part of his website about my YouTube videos and everything, and I really appreciate him doing that, so shout out to Phil, you are awesome. I'll have the link to that page in the pinned comments also. So, I was looking on the Skyway Bridge website, and there was one section that said after the jump, and I always wondered what the people, when they jump off the Skyway Bridge, what do they look like after they die? And I didn't think there were actually pictures of any of them, but I saw that and I clicked on it, and there still aren't pictures of people who had jumped off the Skyway Bridge at all. There were pictures there of people who jumped off of other bridges and people who jumped off of buildings who died. There was also a video, too, that I saw on that site. It's a video of a man in Brazil who jumped off a bridge and died, and they caught it on camera. Now, I can't show you guys the video because I think it might be against YouTube's policies, but I'll have a link to it in the pinned comment. The first video doesn't seem too bad, even though it kind of is. Like, he's on the bridge, and then he jumps off of it, and the bridge, it isn't as high as the Skyway Bridge. I read about this bridge. It's a bridge in Brazil. It's called the Oyapock River Bridge in Brazil. That's what it's called, and I read about how high it was. They said that it was 50 feet high, so it's not as high as the Skyway Bridge, but apparently what happened was his friends were all with him, and he didn't seem depressed or anything. It seems like they were just goofing around and acting silly, but then he jumped off the bridge, and the video of him jumping off the bridge is really low quality. They show him hit the water. Apparently he belly flopped, but then he doesn't resurface. Like, you see him floating in the water, but then he disappears. And they're just talking and everything, and you can't understand what they're saying because they're speaking Portuguese. I don't know Portuguese at all. And you don't know what happened to him then. Well, you do find out if you watch the other video. But he just disappears, and you can't really see him that well because the video is really pixelated and really low quality. Like, you never really find anything in HD on Live Link except for the next video after that, because you can see the clothes that he's wearing, kinda. Let me show you a screenshot of the video. Okay, that's him right there. You can see the clothes right before he falls off the bridge. Seems more like he falls off of it or something. I'm not sure if he intentionally jumped off, but that's him right there. And here's a picture of the bridge he jumped off of, the Oyapock River Bridge in Brazil. Here it is. The Wikipedia article about it said that that bridge is 50 feet high, so it's not nearly as high as the Skyway Bridge. The Skyway Bridge is like 4 times higher. As I said earlier, he didn't seem depressed at all. He was just goofing around, and then he falls, and then all of his friends keep talking. I couldn't tell if they were worried or if they were just goofing around and everything. Later on, they find his body, and you can tell that it's him because he's wearing the same exact clothes. You get a pretty clear view of it. It's like in the same place, roughly the same place, because you can see the bridge in the background, and the people are standing over him talking. I'll have the link to that in the pinned comment, but just warning all of you, it might freak you out really bad to see him. He doesn't really... How do I explain this? He doesn't really look too bad. He looks kind of, he probably will look the same as me after I put on this Halloween makeup and everything. But I know that's a really insulting thing to say, and I don't really mean to offend him, because it is really sad that he died and everything, that he suffered. But it kind of does look a little bit the same, because his skin was blotchy, and another thing was he was really stiff. Now, this is because of my autism. It always fascinated me, kinda, because I see a lot of pictures of deceased people online, and I always wondered what they looked like before they died, really. And in this case, we see him right before he died. His death was literally caught on camera. And then we see him after he died. But the thing is, it must have been a day or two after he died, because the rigor mortis set in. Rigor mortis is when, after you die, your body stiffens up, and you can just look and see that he's like really stiff and everything. And it's very sad, really. And what it really reminded me of was, it took me back to a rough time in my life. Like, I had a flashback of the time in coastal Virginia when I was supposed to die. I talked about this before in my Logan Paul suicide forest episode of Joe Winko Talk. I think that was my first episode of Joe Winko Talk from 2018. This was back on August 25th of 2017 when I was living in Wisconsin. As you all know, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm insulin dependent. If I don't have insulin, I die. A very, very painful death, too. And what happened in Wisconsin was they were going to cut me off of my state health insurance, because that's how I was getting my insulin. And I was like, what the heck? They're cutting me off? Because I've been on it for a year. What, like I'm not going to need insulin after a year? What the hell? And that stressed me out, really. I probably overreacted a bit, but it's because of my autism. If you had diabetes, and if you were going to die because the state's cutting you off your health insurance and you couldn't get your insulin, you'd freak out too. And people actually do kill themselves because of this. But I was really angry, and I was really disgusted, and I didn't want to die in the state of Wisconsin at all, because I absolutely hate the state of Wisconsin. Alright, this is more gloomy stuff. All has to do with my autism. I always wanted to die near water, like near on a beach, preferably, because I always believed that King Neptune would rise out of the ocean and he'd take me away into the Atlantic Ocean, because that's where my biological uncle's ashes were scattered. And he'd take me away out to the Atlantic Ocean, my soul away out into the Atlantic Ocean, to be reunited with my biological uncle after I died. But not until my ghost was done doing everything on Earth. That's just my strange mind and what goes on in my head. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but you guys should know by now that I have a pretty vivid imagination. And I really thought that was going to happen, too. So I was angry because they were going to cut me off my medication. Like, I wouldn't be able to get my insulin that I needed. So I posted an ad online saying that I wanted to run away forever. Same thing I did when I almost ran away to Arkansas forever. And I remember that day I was looking on Google Earth, and I was looking over Virginia, and I saw this abandoned beach in Virginia. I'm not really sure if it's abandoned, but it looked like it was, because when I died, I wanted to be by myself, away from everyone, and like privacy, really. And I saw the abandoned beach in Virginia, and that's where I wanted to be taken to. And I typed that I wanted someone to take me there. And basically, what I was going to do was I was going to commit suicide. Um, I never really went into detail on exactly what I was going to do. One person thought I was going to drown myself to death, but that wasn't true. What I was actually going to do was I was actually going to poison myself on the beach. Really. Um, as I said, it wasn't a good time. I'm better now because I have my insulin and I had no reason to commit suicide. What happened was my psychiatrist, I told her about that, and she made a couple of calls to them and told them not to cut me off, and it was a bit of a misunderstanding, but like I overreacted to that. That's it's the beauty of having autism, really. And she wasn't really surprised by that either. I didn't tell her that I was gonna off myself on a beach, but I told her I was really stressed out and I was gonna die without my insulin, which I really would have died without my insulin. So I figured might as well take my own self out then. And one thing that I always been curious about, and this is my morbid curiosity, I always thought, what if I actually did die on that beach? And let's say I did die on the beach in coastal Virginia on August 25th, 2017. But my body was not found until today, October 31st, 2018. This is what I was going to wear at the beach. This picture, exactly what you see there. Me in the red pointy bandana and the red shorts and the necklace still on me. I'm just wondering, this is something we can talk about since it's so morbid and gloomy and since it fascinates me so much. What do you guys think I would have looked like by the time they found me if I died on August 25th, 2017 on the beach and they didn't find me till October 31st to 2018? Do you think I'd still be recognizable? Do you think I'd be a skeleton by then? Um, Please type in the comments what you all think. I know that's pretty messed up, but please type what you think, because in a twisted way, death kind of fascinates me. And I mentioned this before in my Skyway Bridge episode of Joe Winko Talk, but overall, I'm very, very glad I didn't have to die at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to do my Halloween live stream. And that'd be really sad, because then it would just all be over then. So I am glad I didn't have to die at all. And I'm glad I didn't have to go out because of that, because I was pretty pissed off, because I felt kind of stabbed in the back, like, oh, we're not giving you your insulin. You have to die on a beach now. That's fucked up. Really. And I don't think anyone should go through that either. There's another thing about this. As I said earlier, his death was literally caught on camera. And I always catch everything in my life on camera, because I want people to know almost my every moment, all the happy times, all the bad times, and I want people to see them and be entertained by them, really. I always hoped that one day my death would be caught on camera. And I really should not say this because some sick person. Never mind. I kind of always hoped that my death would be caught on camera and that people would be able to see a video or pictures of what I looked like after I died. Because I want everyone to know exactly what I went through during death and exactly what I looked like after death. And even what my ghost looks like ghost pictures of me on the beach or something, or me haunting Arkansas or Ohio or even Florida or the Carolinas. Because I know this is going to sound crazy, but I still think in an alternate timeline that my ghost really does haunt the shores of coastal Virginia. And in another alternate timeline, my ghost haunts the streets of Arkansas. I'm overthinking this way too much, but please share your thoughts on that. I don't mean to freak you guys out or anything, but it is Halloween. Another thing is, it's sad because I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what he liked, what he did in life or anything. He was just goofing around with his friends, and what I noticed is that people in South America, really, they don't really seem very active on social media. Like, if this would have happened in the USA, people would have been typing in, "Oh, I know that guy. Here's the link to his Facebook. His name is what yada yada yada," and yeah, I would have knew exactly who he was. But I think it's different in those South American countries. It's a completely different culture, really, and it's sad, and it's just tragic that that is what he ended up like. Really, I felt sad when I was watching that video. I did feel intrigued, but after that wore off, I still felt sad when watching that video. But as I said, I'll have the link to it in the pinned comments. You guys can check it out if you want. If you're easily freaked out by stuff or easily traumatized by stuff, I don't recommend watching it, but it's up to you, honestly. Well, there's also another gloomy thing I learned about online. This time it was a girl who died in Texas. She was actually a model, and she died on March 2007. And here's a picture of her. Her name was Fredzania Thompson, and she really wanted to be a model. She was in school, but then she dropped out to become a model full time, and made me kind of reminded me of myself because I always wanted to be a model. I still want to be a model, but I was never able to become one. Like I'm even willing to model for free because I just like having my pictures taken and having them saved and everything. And it's better when someone with a camera does it for you instead of doing them myself. But that's a whole nother story. We're getting off track. Poor choice of words. She was posing on a train track because she was modeling on a train track, and these pictures of her, these are actually the last pictures of her while she was alive. She died like literally minutes after these pictures were taken. What happened was she was standing on a train track, and then a train was coming, and you guys may be saying, "Oh, well, she would have felt the vibrations," or "Oh, she would have heard it coming." She did hear it coming. She stepped one way, but she didn't step, and the train passed her, but then another one at the same time was coming the opposite direction, and she stepped on the opposite train track, and she got hit by the other train. And I was like, it was mind-blowing, really, that all of that happened. I was like, what the heck? Because I never seen two trains run, like, parallel to each other. Well, not parallel, but, like, run, like, side by side like that before. I never thought that usually happened. And another thing is, I always thought when trains were going through a residential area that they had to slow down so they don't hit people. I know that up in Wisconsin it seemed like the trains went slower, but some of them still went pretty fast, and it was really sad. She was only 19 years old, and now she's going to be 19 years old forever because of that. And I feel really sorry for her. And I wanted to make this episode of Joe Winko Talk in memory of her as a tribute. And it's just really sad because she died trying to accomplish her dream of becoming a model because she was planning on using those photos for her portfolio. But she's in heaven now. And I know what some of you guys may be saying. You may be saying, "Oh, you're sad about this girl who passed away, but what about the other guy?" Well, I'm sad about him too, but the thing is, I don't know him. I barely even saw a picture of him while he was alive because the camera quality was bad. I didn't know what he was saying or what state of mind he was in. I'm assuming he was just goofing off of his friends when he jumped off the bridge. But then the only clear picture I saw of him was when he jumped off the bridge and after he died. And it was still really haunting, and it still kind of made me think of myself, because if you watch that second video, he kind of, how do I say this? He kind of looked like me without the bandana, because he has the same kind of hair that I do. I'm not going to show you his picture, but I will show you a picture of myself and what my hair looks like. And if you watch that video and look at this picture, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. It's very haunting. So that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I know it was a very morbid and very gloomy one. Please let me know what you think of everything I talked about. Please comment and share your thoughts. I'm going to be starting my Halloween live stream soon. I just shaved my face and I'm all ready. I was just waiting for my blood sugar to go down, and pretty soon I'm going to put this clown makeup on. I never put on makeup before. Wait a second. Actually, I did back when I was a little kid, and I found my adoptive mother's makeup and I thought it would be funny. She did not appreciate that at all. But besides that, I never put on makeup before. So now I'm going to put on this clown makeup. I'm not sure how I should style it and everything. I just have to be really careful that I don't get it in my eyes, because that would suck if I did. I got some baby powder too, because I don't want to get it all over my bandana. Because, well, I'm going to wash this bandana anyway, so it'll be fine. And I have a whole bunch of party hats, so that's what I use to keep it up. I haven't really explained that lately. So that's it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I hope you all come to watch my Halloween live stream, and I hope you all are doing good. And I hope you all have a good Halloween, and I hope you all watch my Halloween live streams tonight. So let me know what you think of this episode and everything I talked about. Have you heard of it before? Have you seen those videos before? Let me know in the comments, and let's get a conversation started. I'll also be talking about this in my live stream too. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.